Hello and welcome to Mobile Tutorials. In this video, we'll be covering everything you need to know about managing your livestock in Mobble, including adding new mobs, moving mobs, splitting and merging mobs, and adding mob actions. We'll be focusing on the mobile app today, but you can also do all of these things via the web app on your computer if you prefer. So to begin, let's learn how to add our first mob. Starting from either the paddocks or mobs page, use this green plus button in the middle of the bottom toolbar, and then add new mob. There are three options here. The first one is the setup or other option. So this is what you would use when you're first getting started with Mobble, just to add all your mobs in for the first time. The next option is natural increases. That's for mobs that are born on the property. And then the third one is purchase. So that's for mobs that you're buying in. We're going to start with setup or other. And the first thing I need to do is select a paddock that my mob is going into, and then select the livestock type. That will bring up all the rest of my mob options. So I need to select a breed and a gender, and also select the ages of the animals in the mob. You can select multiple options here. Next is classes. Classes are optional, but they're a really great way to filter information later on. So it's really recommended that you use them according to a system that works for your farm. So you can select one of the class options that are already here, or if you want to class your livestock differently, you can add a new class type in here. You can select as many classes as you need to for each mob. Next, I need the number of head. And then I can adjust the DSC. Select Next. And just to review the resulting mob before you confirm to make sure everything looks the way you want it to, then press Save. And there you are. My new mob is now in the paddock. Now let's move on to mob movements. Most often you'll be moving mobs from the Maps page. So let's head over there. From here I can see where all of my mobs are in their paddocks. And I just need to select the paddock where the mob is that I want to move, then select the paddock card, select Move or Split, select the paddock you want to move to. Once you're happy, select Move Mob. You can adjust the date to backdate a mob move if you need to. However, it's important to note that the days grazed and days rested counters, which display on the paddock cards, will count from the date the mob move was actually entered into Mobble. So it's best to record moves on the same day if you can. Now let's move on to splitting a mob. To split a mob, select a paddock, select the paddock card, and then choose Move or Split. Here I want to choose the split option. The column that I want to be adjusting is this moving mob column. I need to choose the number of head that I am moving here, and then I can make any other changes that I need to the moving mob. So to select a different class to add to the mob that I'm splitting off, I can select that class from here. I can adjust the ages of the moving mob, and then also the gender if you need to. Next, I want to select the paddock I'm moving the split mob to, and then select Move Mob. And you can see now that my new split mob has appeared in the correct paddock. And the remaining mob will stay in the original paddock. Now let's look at merging mobs. You can merge mobs together if they are the same breed and gender. So to merge a mob on entry, we need to move our desired mob into a new paddock. So I'm going to move this mob back into the paddock that I split it from. And when I select Move Mob, it will give me the option to merge those mobs together. So all you need to do is select Merge Mobs, select the mobs you want to merge together, and then select Merge Mob. You can then review the details of your resulting mob and just make sure that all of the ages and classes look the way that you want them to. Otherwise, you can make adjustments here. And then merge the mobs. And there we are. If we go back to the map, you'll see that that mob has now merged back together. Finally, let's take a quick look at mob actions. So mob actions allow you to record anything that you want related to the mobs, such as feeding, breeding activities, or animal health treatments. They're really flexible, so you can record anything that you like about a mob using a mob action. To add a mob action, go to the mobs page and then select this green plus button at the bottom and add mob action. From this list here, I can then select all of the mobs that I want to add the action to, and then record the date of the action, select the action type, and then select apply action. If this is an action that requires a product, such as drenching, you can select add product, and that will bring up your inventories. Either select the product from that inventory, or you can add a product in if you need to. You can adjust the withholding period of that product here as well, and then animals within a withholding period will display with a red dot on their mob card and also their mob pin on the map. You can also record paddock actions in Mobble in a similar way to mob actions, so they are used to record anything that happens to a paddock, such as sowing or spraying. To add a paddock action, navigate to the paddock page and select that same add button and then add paddock action. From here, you can select the paddocks and the action type and add any products and notes that you need to before applying the action. So that wraps up today's tutorial. I hope you found it helpful in understanding how to add in new mobs, manage mob movements, split mobs, merge mobs, and use mob and paddock actions in Mobble. Thanks for watching.